Today's review is another chronograph. This one is a beauty from Hamilton, the khaki Aviation Pioneer. Now, a couple months ago, we did review the khaki field chronograph. Many of you complained it was too thick. Well, that one looked really thick. And because it was a khaki field style watch, like my khaki field, we wanted it to be mechanical and thinner. Well, this one is mechanical, but thicker. Well, it's thicker on paper, but it actually looks thinner. Let's get into the measurements right now. Hamilton claims this one is 40 millimeters, but it has that gorgeous case-wide crown guard that just stretches and pulls that metal around that huge 8mm crown and button pushers. But if you measure the case traditionally, you get 41.8 millimeters in diameter, including the crown guard. And if you measure right here in between the lugs and right here in between the lugs, you do get 40 millimeters. Thickness of 14.5, including that boxed, domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. Okay, so that's where it gets a lot of its thickness. It looks about 2 mils extra with that dome, and that's why it's taller than the khaki field chrono. And that one comes in at 14.1, but looks much thicker. This one, 14.5, but looks thinner. We got no drilled lugs and a lug to lug of 49.5. Very long reach here. The strap, 22 mils, no taper. It's an extremely thick piece of leather with that really cool H-style pin and buckle system for the Hamilton logo. I love the way the signed crown looks almost tucked in on that gorgeous crown guard. And I'm a big fan of the tiny 4.5 millimeter button pushers. They're easy to use and very satisfying. There you can see it snap right back. Love chronographs. Unfortunately, this one is a 30-minute only, which seems to be common nowadays. And I know from the comments section, a lot of you guys want something longer. You guys like to time road trips, whatever it may be. Maybe 30 minutes isn't long enough to justify a chronograph purchase, but let me know your thoughts down below. Is 30 minutes enough? The all-new Pioneer mechanical chronograph comes in at $2,045 USD. That is $300 more than the khaki field chrono we looked at earlier, but is the same price as the Intramatic mechanical chronograph that we looked at, I believe, last year. This design is gorgeous, reminiscent of the 1970s British Royal Airforce chronograph Hamilton used to make. So excellent vintage style and DNA with a little bit of heritage. Now there is no column wheel or vertical clutch, but you still get that nice mechanical clicky feel. It's definitely not a deal breaker. It's just missing those nice to haves that we desire in a chronograph. Now let's look at the case back. Military vibes continue here. A Spartan look, no design, no 360-degree H's like the Intramatic, no airplane, just printing. Hamilton, 10 bar, and the serial number. Normally I would want a special case back, but this one does lend to the authenticity of this design, and I'm a fan of it. The subdial at 3 o'clock is your 30-minute timer, and the subdial at 9 is your running seconds. All the hands are painted white for excellent contrast and legibility. We got creamy faux patina that adds to that vintage look, and it's not overly done here. I like it. And the sweep hands tip angles downwards right at the end, and I love that little detail on chronographs. The case looks like it has a bezel, but it doesn't. It's just a little bit of a raised lip, so the crystal presses directly into the case. It's only a 2-piece case, and Hamilton has done this before with the Intramatic mechanical chronograph. Now let's check it out next to the SKX for size reference. The SKX is 42.5 millimeters, and the Pioneer is supposedly a 40 millimeter. If you have an SKX, you now have an idea how this might wear on your wrist. You will see it on my wrist in the faraway macros. It does wear nice, however, the long lug to lug is definitely a negative at 49.5. So although I can pull it off at 6.5 inch wrist, I don't know, I would recommend maybe a 7-inch wrist because of the long reach. The weight, 99 grams, under 100. That's fantastic. It's going to be very comfortable for all day wear. Okay, we got the H51 SI balance with the silicone. balance hairspring, 60 hours of power reserve, and you can hear it, 28.8 VPH, no slow down handicapped sweep here. You're gonna get that smooth sweeping chronograph hand, and very strong amplitude, little bit of beat air in the fourth and final round, +5. Okay, let's do 12 down. How will this one actually perform when you wear it? Amplitude did take a big drop, 243. Beat air is the same, which is nice. 11 now, okay. So we were at +5 before. A little bit fast, and the fourth and final round, +11. On the wrist, it's gonna be about +7, +8. Pretty good. Okay, there's the loom. You can see the sweep hand is not loomed. You cannot see the watch running. Subdials are not loomed either. We got loom pips all around, and the large Arabic 12 and 6 are loomed. Typical Hamilton loom, which means it's not very good. Chronographs are tough. There are so many variables. I feel like they are the hardest to add to the collection, but maybe that's just me. This one is very compelling. It looks the part. British Royal Airforce from the 70s, that Hamilton lineage, and of course it's mechanical. Overall, I'm a fan of it, but if you guys are not convinced and are still shopping, check out more chronograph reviews on the right of your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one.